Yeah, welcome back, people. It is Not That Podcast, and I am your host. I go by a lot of names, really. You can call me the Variable Y. You can call me Mike. Some people call me D-Funk. Some people may call me some things that probably aren't all that nice, but that's okay. That's all right. I'm you know what? I'll roll with it. It doesn't even matter to me, right? Just be nice when you call me that. All right. So we are here with our second show, and I'm very excited about it because we are talking about something that I love, something that I thought I was getting into this business to do solely and this and nothing else, and that is to talk sports. Now, we got a bunch of sports to talk about today, and of course, we only have a little bit of time with us, so we're not going to delve into every single little thing, not every single thing, and get all murked up into the weeds and everything. We've got Major League Baseball starters that we're just named. We're not going to get into that right now. We've got more time to get into Major League Baseball, so don't worry. We have some, I guess, NFL offseason, but I really don't do NFL offseason because I feel like that is very much oversaturated. We just had the NBA draft not too long ago. We will talk just a little bit about that. Again, I'm not huge on drafts just because I think that drafts have become these big TV shows that really don't give us any payoff, right? Like, I remember when I used to watch drafts, and I feel like they were so full of videos and they were so full of like things for us to catch up on. If we didn't know who the people were who were getting drafted, we could just watch their video package, and they had like a 2-minute video package where you saw everything that this person could do. And now I feel like it's just more of the guys on TV talking. You see their faces all the time, guys and women on TV talking. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be sexist. Women are doing the reporting as well, and they're doing a phenomenal job. I think it's more of the men and women on TV who are talking, more of the soap opera effect. Like, yeah, let's get this big story, and yeah, let's thank mom and dad, and I mean, all that's great. Don't get me wrong, that is fantastic, and I'm happy that these young people are living their dreams, but I don't want to watch it. And while we're on this subject, right? You know what? It's just crazy to me, and I don't know if you guys find this crazy, but this just blows my mind. I think it's hilarious how every NFL draft, damn near everybody comes out and they hug Roger Goodell like he's their long lost grandfather or some crap, right? They give him this big bear hug. They hug him so much. Some people lift him up. They just love Roger Goodell. And then they get in the league and everybody hates Roger Goodell. Like, what? What the hell is happening, guys? Like, you don't like Roger Goodell. Nobody likes Roger Goodell. What is I don't get, and again, which is probably why I'm just not all that into the draft, the NFL draft, especially because I feel like you guys do a great job. The NFL does a great job trying to paint the picture of them being something that they're not, right? Trying to paint the picture of them being just this great overarching entity where it's all love and we're all together and with all this big brotherhood. And I mean, come on now, let's keep it real. We all know that that's not the case. We all know they're capitalists, and we all know that it's all about the money, and they're not the only ones. So that's I'm not just singling them out, but let's keep it real. All right, I'm getting way off topic here. And also we're going to talk about, because we have a big event this weekend. They're calling it the Bloodline Civil War. So we are going to talk about Money in the Bank, and we're going to do Money in the Bank predictions. And we're going to talk a little bit about that because I think, guys, and I know, since the rise of the internet, I know people hate to do this, but I think we've got to give WWE some credit because I think they were right. We had the NBA draft. I think 1 through 5, you could pretty much set your watch to it. I think after that was where some things got a little bit shaky, but nothing too out of the ordinary. Except I think the only thing that was odd is Cam Whitmore. He apparently after like number 5, well, really after number 4, he was supposed to be number 4. He was either supposed to be anywhere between like 4 and no lower than 10. And after the Twins came off the board, it was like he was number 1 on everybody's list. He was number 1 on everybody's list. Next best up. He was number 1. But somehow or other, he didn't get drafted until number 20. So, I was telling my son, I said, yeah, that to me says that there may be some kind of off the court issue or maybe something that is scaring people away from him. But I still kind of feel like, yeah, maybe somebody gets a steal here, or maybe he's, maybe something is wrong. Maybe he's not who we think he is. Maybe he's not who the world thinks he is. But we'll see, right? Again, I think it's something that it's like getting us all riled up for Thanksgiving dinner, but then not having a turkey and not having the dressing. It's just a meal. Like, yeah, you got me excited for watching some basketball, and now I can't watch basketball, pro basketball, until October. So why are we even talking about this? But hey, I know how TV works. So we had the draft, and that was cool. And the Hawks made a draft pick, obviously, number 15 overall, a young man out of Michigan named Kobe Buffkin. Now, Kobe Buffkin is a combo guard, I guess you can call him. Kind of slight build. He did increase his scoring from his first to second year, so that's good. 6'4", like I said, he went to Michigan. 6'4", 187 pounds. So he's a small guy. Let's be honest, he's a small guy. Now that being said, he's probably bigger than Trae Young. And the good news behind him is that he's real good on defense. One of the things they were saying was that his defense is pretty daggone good, which is something that we need. So now I'm wondering, are we going to run a 3-guard lineup? Are we going to just have him spell Trae Young a lot? I don't know exactly what the rationale was behind this pick, but we'll see. And then the Hawks made a trade that I don't want to say shocked the world, but they finally were able to get rid of John Collins. And this is no disrespect to John Collins at all. John Collins seems like a great guy. And on social media, everybody's been just showing love to John Collins, and rightfully so. John's been here for a minute. I think that there's something between him and Trae that just didn't mix. After the trip to the Eastern Conference Finals, something in jive. Like, I don't know exactly what it was, but I don't think that John Collins fit in on this team anymore. And he had a mega contract that was kind of like an albatross around the team's neck. So I think it was a great move to get rid of Collins, to dump some salary. Now they have, I think it's like a $25 million exception. So maybe they can go out there and sign a free agent. Maybe not. Maybe they'll save that for next year. Who knows? But the team is making some moves. I can't wait to see what Quinn Snyder has in store for this team coming up. I'm looking very much forward to it, even after the draft, even after that. Free agency, we got to remember, guys, free agency starts at 6 p.m. Eastern today. So by this time next week, the landscape of the NBA is going to change, and it'll probably change for the Hawks as well. There's another thing I want to bring up here, and I've been told this the entire time in this business, and I believe it's true, but just something I want to bring up to you guys just in case anybody would like to. I've done a fantasy football league for a couple of years now. This will be year 3. I did it for this show I used to have, and we've had a lot of great fun doing it. And if anybody would like to join, just let me know. We can get you in there. Of course, I just need you to reach out to me, and I can get you in the league. We have a lot of fun. We it's not really a lot of talking trash kind of league, but there are a couple of prizes. You get a belt, and I do have to give the winner his championship because it's at my house. Since I'm the commissioner, it's at my house. I haven't been able to get to him, but I do have to give him his title. That's his to hold until I come back and claim it. And you get a belt and you get 2 tickets to one of the Hawks games. I've got a little ticket package, and I'll give you 2 tickets to just about any game you want. Now, nowadays, again, you guys saw that Victor Wembanyama was picked number 1 overall. So if I get any Spurs tickets, you can't have those. So I got to see this cat and see exactly what it looks like in person. But yeah, so if anybody would like to join that, now is a great time to join, get to meet some cool people. If you don't already know us, if you know us, then you know how we are. So would love to have more of you join the league. I think we're at 12 right now. 14 teams would be pretty hardcore, and I would love that. So if anybody is interested, just hit me up on the socials and we'll make it happen. We're running out of time here, and I think one of the big things that we need to discuss is this pay-per-view, this premium live event, whatever you want to call it, that's happening this weekend. And also, like I said before, I think we really need to get into something in this day and age of the internet. A lot of you guys get upset with people who own their own brand and who distribute it their way. They want to tell their own stories, and they think those are intriguing, and that's what they do. And some of you get upset about that, right? You get upset with them about that. I get it, but I also feel like, well, let the artist be an artist and let them figure out how they want to tell their story. I'm saying all of that to say, I think it's time that we all admit, and hey, I'm one of the main ones who was confused as well. After WrestleMania, I said, I don't really know what they're doing here, right? And I heard some people online saying, yeah, the Bloodline story is not over. The Bloodline story is not over. And I thought, well, I don't really know if it has any more legs to stand on. I got to admit, me and all the rest of you who thought like me, we were wrong. The reason why I say that we were wrong is I don't know if you guys actually have been paying attention. Well, of course you have. Like, even you hate watchers have been paying attention. But guys, this Bloodline story has been excellent ever since WrestleMania. After watching the SmackDown, then Backlash, and then the SmackDown and Crown Jewel, and then the SmackDowns in between those, like, all of those have been like excellent television. All of those have been telling great stories. And really the story is, guys, it might be the Bloodline imploding first that needs to happen before Roman loses the title. And if so, this is almost a 4-year story here that they have been able to tell, and they've been able to captivate us all with. They were right. They were right. This Bloodline storyline is fascinating, and it's some of the best television they've done in a long time, and it's kept our attention for 3 years, going on year 4. In the next 2 months, it'll be 4 years. Guys, they didn't just luck up on this. They didn't just do this by accident. I'm sure some things fell into place, yes, but a lot of this is what a lot of you all have been asking for, have been begging for, long-term storytelling. So I think we need to give them credit where credit is due. They have been able to capture our attention, and they've been able to hold on to it, and they haven't let it go. And because of that, I think we're going to be rewarded with one big payoff very, very, very soon. Let's get into these predictions before I run out of time. All right, guys. So, and this is just based on Wikipedia. So if one of these matches doesn't happen, then, hey, blame Wikipedia. Don't blame me. All right. So, and I'm going to go in the order of importance, and no offense to anybody. I don't want to offend anybody based on how I read these. But again, this is just, based on the storyline and based on the build, this is just what it is. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Liv and Raquel were just the women's champions before Liv got hurt, and they had to hold the tournament to decide new champions. That's when Ronda and Shayna won them. And this is just the beginning of their title reign. So I think they're going to, at least for right now, have them retain the titles. I think it'll be a pretty good, pretty close match, I should say. But I think in the end, it's gonna be Ronda and Shayna who will retain. Let's see. All right, and then next we have Gunther versus Matt Riddle. Wait, I didn't say that right. I'm sorry. Gunther, the Ringerau, versus Matt Riddle for the Intercontinental Championship. I mean, Riddle is good. Is glad to see him back, but come on, man. It's Gunther, whatever you want to call him, Walter, whatever you want to call him. This guy he's had a phenomenal maybe calendar year, probably since last June to this June. He's just had a phenomenal rise up the ranks, and he looks fantastic, and he looks brutal. He looks like he will cave your whole chest in, and he looks like a great Intercontinental champion, and that's what we need right now. So it's going to be Gunther who is going to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Hopefully this will be a good match. Riddle can sell, and he'll probably sell his butt off. But yeah, hopefully this will be a good match, and we'll get something out of it. But Gunther is going to retain. The women's Money in the Bank ladder match, which features Selena Vega, Becky Lynch, Zoe Stark, Bayley, Shotzi, Io Sky, and Trish Stratus. Now, before Trish was added to this match, I was thinking that the odds-on favorite would be Zoe Stark, just because she could be there. She could, and Trish is her mouthpiece. She just got called up from NXT. So she is on the rise to be one of these kind of mega heels that everybody hates, but she's somebody who could generate some heat and who could really do something. But Trish is here. Right. So now I'm like, dang, so is it going to be Trish? And I think a wild card is Zelina Vega. Obviously, you've got Becky, who they could just throw it on, but Becky doesn't need it. And like even Becky said when she saw Rhea Ripley in a backstage promo on Raw, Becky doesn't need the title. Now, I don't think the title needs Becky, but Becky doesn't need the title. So I don't think we have to worry about Becky winning this. So I think the odds-on favorite, honestly, like I said, I thought it was Zoe. I think it's Trish now. So I'm going to say Trish is going to win women's Money in the Bank. Now, for Cody Rhodes versus Dominic Mysterio with mommy herself, Rhea Ripley there. Number one, let me just say to you all something that I haven't been able to say again. I haven't had my own show in a long time. Ex-Con Don is probably, like, we talk about all of these people who have come up over the last year or so. Add Ex-Con Dom to that list. Add the Judgment Day as a whole to that list. Like, I freaking love the Judgment Day. I think that they did exactly what they were set out to do. Make stars out of just a bunch of people thrown together, and they've created this wonderful stable. And I think that they should go on for a few years. I'm seeing all these seeds of dissent that are being sold into the Judgment Day. It's starting to bother me because I think they could go on and really, really be a dominant faction after the bloodline goes down. But and it's Cody Rhodes. Obviously, if this was going to be a fair fight, if this is going to be one-on-one, if mommy wouldn't be out there, then of course I would pick Cody all day. But Ex-Con Dom, I think he's going to win. And you know why? And I saw this circulating earlier, and this is why sometimes I don't like going online, because you'll see something that'll give you a spoiler, even though you try to stay away from spoilers. But I thought this myself. You know who we haven't seen? We haven't seen Brock Lesnar. Not since Cody made that challenge. We haven't seen Brock. We haven't heard from Brock. I think Brock makes a return. I think he comes back. He destroys Cody Rhodes, and then they have a big blow off at SummerSlam. I think that's where this is headed. So, yeah, I think, So I think Ex-Con Dom is going to win because of interference by Brock Lesnar, or Cody might win and Brock is just going to come out and destroy him. But either way, I think Brock is going to be involved in this match. I think officially Dom is going to win, but if Cody wins, I wouldn't be surprised, and then Brock comes out and destroys him. All right. So now we've got Seth freaking Rollins versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship. Man, I think this is going to be a great match. In a perfect world, I would love for Finn to win the World Championship from Seth. I would love for him to take the championship back to the Judgment Day. I would love for the Judgment Day to have the men's and women's world champion in their ranks. But I don't think it can be done. Not right now. Again, Seth just got the world championship. They just resurrected the world championship. Seth is so over right now. Seth does not need the world championship, but the world championship does need Seth. So Seth wins. He retains. He is still your world heavyweight champion. And for the men's Money in the Bank, the men's Money in the Bank consists of Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, LA Knight, Santos Escobar, Butch, Damian Priest, and Logan Paul. Now, again, I've heard some spoilers. It's really getting on my nerves. I hear some people saying that Logan Paul may come away with the briefcase. I hope that doesn't happen. With all due respect to Logan Paul, who is a phenomenal wrestler. Like, I don't know who trained this dude. I don't know what it is. It may just be natural talent, but he is amazing. He's a part-timer. I don't want any part-timers with the Money in the Bank briefcase. That doesn't make any sense. So, man, this one is kind of tough because conventional wisdom and betting favorite goes with LA Knight, but Damian Priest is there. So I think it may come down with Priest and Knight on the ladder. I think Ricochet and Logan Paul are probably going to do something just that's going to make our eyeballs bug out, you know, the way they're going to use these ladders and ropes and stuff, because they're both very good. But if I had to bet, I would bet on LA Knight winning the Money in the Bank briefcase. I don't think anybody cashes in on tonight, but that would be my bet. And then last, but certainly not least, the Bloodline, Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa versus the Usos, Jimmy and Jay. Here's one thing that I've been thinking, and tell me if you guys agree. I think that it may come down to where they take out Solo Sikoa and both the Usos are looking at Roman, and then Roman does what he does and he manipulates them again. Come on, guys. We're family. I need you guys. We need to run this. Remember? We're the Bloodline. We're in charge. We run WWE. We're the reason why everybody eats. Our family, we're ingrained in this. Da, 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 da. And I think it actually gets to both of them. And let me not say I think. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if it got to both of them and they fell back in line with the Bloodline. But that's just, you know, I've got some far out predictions here. So that's my far out prediction. But my regular prediction is that the Usos beat the Bloodline. Solo takes the pin as always. Everything goes off the air with Roman kind of looking distraught and kind of sad that everybody has turned their back on him and his family's falling apart. There you go, guys. Those are my predictions for Money in the Bank, which should be a great premium live event, which starts tomorrow at 3, I believe. So, you know, go log on to Peacock and get your popcorn ready. And let's watch, and you guys can, you know, tweet me or do whatever, and we'll talk back and forth down the line. And guys, I know we've talked a lot, but that'll be it for this episode of Not That Podcast, where again we come on here and we talk about all kinds of things, where it's not going to be that podcast that goes all negative. It's going to be the podcast that talks about the things you want to talk about and enjoys the things you want to enjoy. You can always reach out to me on social media. You can reach me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Variable Y WSB. And you can reach out to me on TikTok. I don't have any videos yet, but you can still reach out to me there on TikTok at Very Able Y. Just Very Able Y. Exactly how it sounds. All right, people, let's do some shout outs. Shout out to Mama Variable up in heaven. Shout out to Papa Variable, brother and sister Variable. Thank you. Shout out to Mrs. Variable and the Variable children. Shout out to all the normals who listen and who are a part of the shows that we've always done. Shout out to all you guys. Will, Jimmy, Vaughn, Sterling. Shout out to Romy Rome. Shout out to Trey. Shout out to Always Live in Atlanta. All you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. And remember, 2 things I always let you guys know, I always tell you, is to love yourself and respect yourself for 2 reasons. Number 1, you deserve it. Number 2, when you love and respect yourself, you love and respect others. I'm gone, people. Peace.